Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we are back and we have breaking news, exciting news, news of opportunity. The Democrats think it's going to hurt Trump. The media says it's going to hurt Trump, but the reality is it's not. It's going to support Trump. And this is what I want to tell you guys is the RFK Jr. campaign. And what this campaign basically is, as you know, they have announced Nicole Shanahan as the running mate for RFK Jr. Background on her, though, she is um, a philanthropist. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But let's see if Wikipedia has an article on her. If they do, that we can learn a lot. She's also Sergey Brin's ex-wife. So that's kind of a huge L to him, but if he wants to take it that way, it depends. But yes, she was a former Democrat, but in 2023, she became an independent, a new member of the Independent Party, not even a party, but an independent. She left the Democratic Party and now currently is um, embracing centrist libertarian democratic views. That sort of what RFK is kind of embracing. So it says here Nicole Ann Shanahan is an American technologist, attorney, and running mate. We know that for sure. That's the big news of the day. Based in the San Francisco Bay Area, she first donated US $4 million to his campaign for the Super Bowl advertising. So we knew that Kennedy probably doesn't trust the Republicans that much. He's a lifelong Democrat. His family and he grew up as a Democrat. This guy, as you should know, probably I think his relationship with Republicans overall has recovered and coming is growing. However, he wouldn't probably select a Democrat to run. She is Shanahan was married to the Google co-founder Sergey Brin. Wow, and then divorced in 2023. Yeah, that the pain's still hurting, isn't it? But people are saying, "Oh, this is going to hurt Trump." Um, I honestly don't think it will. It's this time it's going to less likely hurt Trump. I personally think that selecting Nicole Shanahan um, is probably going to stir more Trumpists away from the Kennedy campaign and bring in more centrists, moderates, and most importantly, Bidenists. So we have the current polls right now going on, and these current polls include Kennedy polls. If you want me to include Donald Trump, Joe Biden polls, they probably look the same. But I have used polls regarding Kennedy, and mainly because I do think Kennedy is going to end up turning this election into a 1992. So a little look in the 1992 election. So I like to say Kennedy is a Democrat version of Ross Perot, if you will. You'll see Ross Perot. He was a former member of the Republican Party. Actually, never mind. He wasn't even a former member. He was a future member of the Republican Party. But he's always been an independent. And he, of course, ran a campaign, failed to carry any state or electoral votes. However, he managed to impressively carry 18.9%. And that itself was capable in, as you know, flipping and winning around 12, 15 counties across the United States. That's pretty good. He carried 4 counties in Texas. He carried 3 counties in Maine. In fact, he came in second place in Maine. George Bush didn't gain anything in Maine. But yes, it was Maine, Texas, Kansas, Colorado, California, those, and even Alaska too, even though it doesn't show it. But Alaska also, and even Nevada. Mr. Ross Perot saw good gains in winning those many counties, and that's 18%. Not together, but it did result to a faded, shaded margin like this. Very light colors being used. Overall, I do confidently believe that the 2024 election is going to be like this. Very light colored because of RFK Jr., not to mention Jill Stein and Cornel West. Cornel West expected to pick up a lot of free Palestine voters. RFK is not going to pick up those voters. He has made it clear that he does not rule on that base. RFK Jr. probably rules on a more homeland sort of foreign policy, sort of what Trump kind of rules on. But that is sort of what the theory is. So that is that. But back to the election, back to the campaign. So I'm going to focus mainly on the 1992 because I see patterns, and some people might not see the patterns, and I think these patterns are going to determine the outcome of the 2024 election. But you'll see that Ross Perot, he carried conservative counties. Now, what defines a conservative county back in the 90s is pretty different. As you should see, not much has changed. We know, I think Trinity County, which he carried in California, that was somewhat liberal today, but it was actually very conservative back then. There was this county near Carson City, that's conservative. This county right here in Colorado, the one my cursor is at, that's a Democrat stronghold. I don't know if that county was a Democrat stronghold back then or not, but Colorado, no doubt about it, was a red state back then. But you see the pattern, guys. Kennedy mainly saw gains in red states. California, starting in 1992, began a Democrat trending streak. But before that, California was considered a red state. We had Republican senators in California. We had a Republican governor, I believe, unless I am blundering, but I think we had a Republican governor in the 90s in California. There was also Texas, Kansas, Maine, Nevada. You'll see this county right here. You'll see Perot was gaining in more conservative areas because he was a conservative. Now, what we are hoping, and what I'm hoping, is that Mr. Kennedy and his, as you know, running mate, Shanahan, will stir and win. First off, they don't want to pick up just conservative areas, and they've made that clear. They're not going after the Republican Party. They're going after the Democratic and Republican parties. They're in it to win it. So they don't want to end up like Ross Perot, who ended up mainly taking conservative strongholds. Well, I wouldn't call them strongholds anymore, because when you lose, Republicans lose these counties and states, they're no longer strongholds. So that is, and mostly it's because of a three-way race. But the fact remains clear. I do not expect Mr. Kennedy, along with Nicole Shanahan, to win a state. Of course not. They would have to do very, very well. And they would at least have to beat some polls, win some polls against Biden and Trump. But I don't think that's going to happen. The American people see the 2024 election as a Trump-Biden rematch and no other race. Yes, RFK is a popular figure on the ballot. That's probably the only choice, or we have no other choice. But Americans, majority of them, know that he's not going to win. But what he can do and what can be considered a win is kind of breaking Ross Perot's record set, basically 18.9%. You can break that, win over 19 million votes. That's a record set. All right. So, I have good hopes and feelings for RFK Jr. I like RFK Jr. Of course, I'm voting for Donald Trump, mainly because I know that Kennedy, he's like another version of Donald Trump with fiscal policy, and that's what I want to see. But, knowingly Trump's on the ticket of my party, I'm going to go and vote for him, period. We got to do that. That helps unite. That helps unite the political base abroad. So anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.